Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the continued market dump. We're going to talk about Zcash's continued strength amidst this. And we're going to talk about our thoughts on whether or not we have topped for this cycle. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening on Twitter Spaces, give us a like, give us a bookmark, give us a comment. Let us know what you're trading in this down market. Are you shorting everything? Are you holding pat? What's going on? If you're on YouTube, you listen over there, drop us some comments. We'll be sharing them on the stream as we go as well. Morning, everybody. I'm joined here today by Kix. Kix back in the studio. How you feeling today, Kix?
Dude, I'm feeling pretty good. Love everybody out there except for the fucking piece of shit market maker behind Cerebro that stop loss hunted me this morning.
Oh, no.
Go fuck yourself, you scammer. But other than that, man, love everybody out there.
Oh, I saw you shorted that. Was that on Hyperliquid?
Yeah.
Damn. So you got stop loss hunted. Oh, I see this wick here.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Dude, it's the fucking scammiest. Dude, here's the thing. Okay. You got to trust your gut. You know what I mean? And what my gut has been telling me is that there's fuckery happening with this coin. It like pumps when everything else. Look at it. Look at it. I'd be fucking up.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I'd be up $5 fucking grand.
As we're talking, this coin is just sending to zero. All right, so Kix, you entered yesterday. Let me figure out what's going on here. All right, so November 7th was today. You entered yesterday. You were talking about shorting it like midday, right around like this 45-cent price, I'm guessing. And then it wicked all the way up to like 51 cents as of like 20 minutes ago. And now it's in a free fall over the last 15 minutes. It's now hitting new lows that we haven't seen in a week almost. Oh, God.
They hunted my stop loss to the fucking third decimal.
Yeah, that hurts. This looks like crime. What also looks like crime, this one and Jelly are both like, I feel like they were doing weird things during this market dump. And Clemente came on the show and was like, oh, I mean, obviously Jelly is pumping. Their CEO was in the office of Solana last week. So of course this is a good play. This one, look at this daily chart here on Jelly. Was sitting at, I mean, this thing has had some weird price action, 12 million, and then pumped to 50 million, held there for like a couple weeks, pumped to 80 million, held there for a couple weeks. And then over the last week went all the way up to 270 million.
Look at that fucking scam short candle. You know what this all is? This is all fucking CZ. I guarantee it. Allegedly. Don't sue me, CZ, because you're litigious.
Yeah, we saw that he's suing what? Nancy Pelosi or Elizabeth Warren? One of the two. Elizabeth Warren, I think.
Elizabeth Warren.
Fucking
piece like of shit got me, dude. Got me for fucking. Well played, dude. Well played, man. Well, fucking played. That's fucking wild, dude. Fucking hits my stop loss to the fucking decimal and then goes right down to my take profit in fucking an hour candle. Well played.
Yeah, this thing is, I mean, it's still going down. Do you still like a short here though? Or like is it at this point trade's over?
Yeah, I don't go back in.
Yeah.
Gotta move on. Because now I'm tilted. So this is when you start spewing chips. So when you're fucking tilted at the poker table. Because like this is basically a guy that just fucking played 2-7 against like my ace king suited and fucking beat me. And then he's like, you want to play another hand? No, go fuck yourself.
That's unreal. I mean, you're directionally right, but with these scam coins like that are pumping like this, it's so hard to like figure out when fundamentals take back over. You know?
Yeah, and you have to have it on isolated margin or a stop loss, else you can get completely fucking liquidated short on like a wick. So
yep. 100%. I mean, this chart is just bogus.
Bogus.
A wild chart.
Bogus chart.
Like it's like somebody who died and then like resurrected, like Jesus Christ resurrected, then this is basically gonna go ascend and like go back to zero again. Like this is really crazy how this played out. I guess this is where he like quote unquote died back in April, right? If you remember, the dev for this like faked his own death, put articles, like bought articles in the paper saying he died, and like this thing pumped pretty substantially, and then everyone's like, no, he's not dead. It's basically grinded to zero, and then did another scam pump 1 month ago starting. Yeah, I think directionally this thing's going back down to below where it was. This thing is going to go 75% to the downside. It's just a matter of, does it liquidate you first?
Yeah, and based on my experience, it will.
This is crazy. We'll do the weather
winter mutes. Ukrainian ass probably got me.
We'll do the weather report here in a minute, Kicks. But first, we're gonna let you know the show brought to you by our partners over at Streamex. They just raised $25 million to purchase physical gold bullion. If you remember when we talked about these guys last time on the show, they are getting set for a GLDY stablecoin sale. This is coming up, I believe. They said November 10th in the original press release. So as early as next week, we're going to see this GLDY sale go live. You're looking for gold-backed stablecoins, stablecoins that are backed, not by necessarily U.S. Treasury bills. This is an interesting play. So check out Streamex. They're starting with the GLDY. They are opening up their ecosystem over time. They are doing so much more, basically allowing you to invest in mines and get like exposure to gold through crypto rails. So we love what's going on over at Streamex, traded publicly on the NASDAQ. Their CEO, Henry, is the youngest CEO on the NASDAQ as well. That's a cool title to have. He comes from the Solana space. And they have a number of advisors who are very, very deep into crypto. And then they also have people brought on from the physical gold world. So they know what they're doing. They have the pieces in play to make this business work. $25 million raise backing their sale with the physical gold bullion. Check them out. Follow them at Streamex on Twitter to stay up to date on the upcoming sale. Love working with Streamex. Love what they're building over there. Love to see new products and innovations in the crypto space. That being said, Kicks, how about we take it away with a weather report here and get into the show?
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday, November 7th. The majors are down on the day with Bitcoin dropping below 100K again before recovering. ETH just over 3,200, Solana at 152, Hype at 39, fuck CZ, fuck Binance, fuck Wintermute. Over the past 24 hours, Senior Vice President of Finance Shiv Verma said they are considering adding Bitcoin to their corporate treasury. They are looking at multiple factors, including shareholder value and cost of capital when making the decision. Next up, we have our first meme coin ETF as Bitwise files an 8(a) provision to bring a Doge ETF to market. If there is no intervention, trading would go live in 20 days. Doge is down 13% on the week to a $24 billion FDV. Finally, Zcash gained 18% on the day as it entered the top 12 tokens by market cap. It also briefly flipped hyperliquid in market cap this morning. That's it for your weather report. Back to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Kicks. Zcash is really going for it, huh?
Dude, Sunday, man.
We talked about it a good amount yesterday on the show. We had Funky on. He gave us a breakdown of the thesis and exactly what's going on. Kicks, you were in this trade. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I think you're out now, completely out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I could have made 90 grand if I held it, but yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something you normally do, though. After like a 2 or 3x on these plays, you're generally out, right?
Yeah.
Thoughts here? I mean, it feels super late to be jumping into this. I said that yesterday, though, as well at 500, and now we're sitting at 630. So,
yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't short it. I think shorting it will just keep adding fuel to the fire. But I'm also certainly not longing it at 10 billion or 8 billion or whatever it's worth right now.
Yeah, 10 billion, just shy of hyperliquid on the rankings, number 12 by market cap right now. Realistically, well, not realistically, like in a best case scenario, where does Zcash, like how high can Zcash go? So does it jump towards Solana at 84 billion?
I mean, dude, fucking anything's possible. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But I mean, anything is possible. It's got a lot of smart people behind it pushing it. So I mean, is probably going to keep running until like the consensus is that it's going to go flip Solana, and then maybe it probably dumps. Like overall on the looking at it in terms of what's happening with the overall market, it definitely looks like a crowding of a trade that often happens when when the market's weak and people are struggling to make money. That you often see crowding happen. And so I think that's part of the effect. I also think part of the effect is that it's actually doing interesting things in terms of privacy and just innovating on top of the, Bitcoin's OG store of value kind of setup. I mean, I've been looking at these kinds of plays. I was looking more at Monero than Zcash back in March because my whole thesis was that Bitcoin, ETH going super mainstream corporate finance, very anti ethos of like the original cypherpunks that were buying Bitcoin 10 years ago, right? So it's not surprising for me to like see this, that a lot of people are looking for something else. I'm not sure though if this pump is actually like cypherpunk people behind it, but like, I mean, I did have an idea that something like this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen with Zcash, but yeah, dude, definitely not shorting it, definitely not longing it here. But I also think like seeing a trade get that crowded is not a positive sign for the overall markets, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. It feels very bear market-esque to have one coin like this, like running everything, and that coin being a privacy token. Like,
Yeah.
didn't Monero like front run like the bear market last time? Like, it just kind of feels like price not sustainable, and then also people are like, huh, well, maybe this is where I'm just going to go to exit this cycle in a way that I'm not going to get taxed, or I can hide my money away. It's just a little scary, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that is like why Zcash is pumping, that people are like trying to hide their money to not pay taxes. I mean, maybe. I think it's just more that they released some interesting new tech, like the shielded shit and whatever, a couple months ago. And people are crowding around that narrative. In general, like Dino coins pumping is not good. Like, so if you just see Zcash doing it, it's not a big deal. But then if you see like, I saw people pumping Decred, which is another Dino coin. So yeah, when you see a bunch of people like pumping old Dino coins, it's not the best sign. But yeah, I was just about to say in the chart that a lot of the alts last year topped in May, not in November. Yeah,
last cycle, right? Interesting. So Bitcoin still had another run after the alts top last cycle.
Yeah, and I mean, like some alts kept going, but like a lot of alts you'll see last cycle they topped in May. They didn't top in November. They didn't redo.
Yeah, interesting for sure. Man, ETH killer right now. ETH looks like it's in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. I mean the technicals aren't great on it for sure.
Like we're below support. Like we're basically like 2,800 seems like a guarantee here. Like it feels like shorting ETH here is just like free money.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it on the monthly, it looks like it could roll back. It's trying to hold the monthly moving average at about 3,100. It did ping off of that. On the weekly, it's very below the moving average, and it's heading towards the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is at like 2650. But yeah, I mean, the thing for me is that I generally prefer to long bottoms than chase shorts, if that makes sense, right? So like if you go back to that weekly view, so you can see we got a MACD cross from green to red like 4 candles ago.
Yep.
Yeah. So like that is a spot where I would like to take a short, right? So it was like in the
4,200 range.
Yeah, high 4,000. So that's when I'd like to take a good short. Because see, the tricky thing is that when you try to chase on the short side, things that are pulling back significantly get really big snapback rallies, right? So
Yeah.
you can very easily like short it kind of timing off. You can be right on a monthly time frame and wrong on a 2-week time frame and get stopped out.
Yeah.
So
Also looking at this weekly here, like if you shorted at like the same cross here that we had back August of last year, heading in the election, like you basically were just chopping, like
exactly.
we had already crossed into negative for the MACD, but that one big candle essentially was most of the negative move, and after that it was just basically chopping until
Yeah, and you'd rather wait and long the bullish cross.
Yep. Yeah, same thing here. Like you might have gotten a little bit of action here last time we crossed in, and we're a couple candles into the bearish MACD, but after that large candle you weren't getting a ton of extra action. So it's really like
Once again, that's another case where just sitting, being patient, wait for the bullish cross, and you could have gotten it for like a 50% plus gain. So yeah, I as tempting it is to like short things here, it's like sit on its hands season. So I'm just gonna sit and wait. I'll have a little fun getting stopped out on stupid ass coins like Cerebro, but other than that, for me, just sitting in cash. So like this example, right? Like I'd rather see it like wick down to 2,600, 2,650, and then like long that back up to 3,000.
Yeah.
I'd rather
That's
make
just
that
something like,
play.
yeah, like look at the MACD, see where it's like peaking and kind of coming back down, and then hitting it on one of these like light red wicks on the or light red candles on the way back.
Exactly. I'd much rather do that than like try to short after a big move's been made, even if I'm bearish.
So say we're bearish and like we're saying cycle's over, and we're looking back to like 2022. Even if you did like you made a move like that, you could have gotten this little relief rally we had in April.
Exactly.
And then you would have been patient again, and then
yeah.
I mean, you weren't taking a ton of downside risk with those longs if you're coming out of the MACD curl.
Exactly.
Historically, so like that's something that's really going to be important to watch here over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I mean, it could be like December is when we're considering making the next move. So maybe we get like alignment of government open up, an actual rate cut that isn't being necessarily 100% priced in at this point, and then like language towards future easing coming into the end of Powell's term next year. So yeah, I think I agree. I think I feel the same way. I actually cut like a good number of alts yesterday morning into just stables, just to be ready to deploy at a potential bottom. I think it was like 25% of my total like alt port I basically cut yesterday across NFTs, meme coins, utility coins, even some of my hype bag I cut just to have more stable ammo in case we go lower. Not cutting 100%, but just I didn't feel comfortable with the amount of stables I had and like how I'm feeling like, okay, stuff feels cheap now. I want to be deploying. I don't have stables. If it goes even lower, I'm going to like be very upset.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it at the end of the day, it like really depends on your overall strategy, right? Like some people are like, I just want to hold the coins and not sell them and buy the dips. But if you have nothing to buy the dips with, then what are you even doing, right? I'd much rather have ammo to buy the dips than take like 70% drawdowns on my ports to be called a diamond hander. Like there's no honor in round tripping. So yeah, I got a lot of cash. And for me, like I like to play out like both scenarios, right? So it's like, cool, I'm cash heavy right now. If the market keeps trending bearish and dumps further, I'm going to have great buying opportunities, right? And if I'm wrong and things turn around, I think I'll still have opportunity to make money on that turnaround, right? So like regardless of what happens, I'm fine being in cash, right? And then you play out the alternative, which is like I'm max invested. And it's like, cool. If it turns around, I'll make some more money. And if it pukes out, I'm going to be fucking miserable. You know what I mean? So like when I do that matrix grid of scenarios, sitting in cash is the play for me.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think I got overextended during this kind of like mini bull we've had where I've been buying tokens for belief and thinking we're going higher than we have. And I'm in these longer term plays, whereas I generally find success in shorter term trades during
that's where I make most of my
positive
money.
markets. Yeah, during positive markets.
And you can't make those trades if you have no cash.
Right. And then I'm spread across too many assets at this point where like I'm holding these. I'm like, okay, well, my thesis hasn't changed. It's just the market isn't playing out like I want it to be, you know? Like you could have the best thesis and have the best token as an altcoin, but if ETH and Bitcoin aren't performing and you're holding an EVM token, the odds are it's not going up no matter how great the utility is and how good the meta is. It just won't go up. Like it's like buying an NFT when all NFTs are going down. Like, yeah, it may not be going down as bad as the other ones, but it's still going down.
Yeah. And for me, like a big part of how I like to approach trading and investing is like managing my mental health in terms of trading, meaning that like when I take big losses, I'm going to lose a lot of confidence in myself, right? And that's going to affect my ability to make money. So for me, a lot of times, like de-risking is a mental health play because I know that if I sit in cash and it goes back up, I have cash to make more opportunities. And if it dumps and I have cash, my mental health is gonna be really good. And I'm gonna be looking for ways to deploy that. You know, same thing with like open right now. So I sold all of my open like in the high 8s. And now it's down in the 5s. And so I can buy back in if I want. And I didn't, round trip all my gains.
Yeah, hitting the moving average on the weekly on open. It looks like it's swinging down to a red.
Yeah, so like best case scenario it goes red, but it holds that moving average. That's like what you would really want to see.
Right.
Because like MACD curls doesn't always mean the price is going to dump. You can see MACD curls, bearish MACD curls, and the price consolidates. You can see bullish MACD curls and the price keeps dumping. It's not like this guaranteed indicator.
Yep.
I mean that wick down out of these Bollinger Bands is pretty ugly.
Yeah, I was gonna say on Bitcoin, I just went back and we have never seen that. We've never seen this before. Yeah, for Bitcoin. Like I'm going all the way back here. For those listening, we're looking at the Bollinger Bands on Bitcoin right now. We're so far below it. I can't even find a spot in Bitcoin's history where we've been this far below the lower Bollinger Band.
Yeah, like usually you'll get like a wick back up, and like hold the range, and then when the next week candle forms, the Bollinger Bands will like push down, and then it can go down again. So like I wouldn't be surprised.
Here, this is what August 24th, August 5th of 2024.
Yeah,
it was like the last wick we had. That was like the only time I can find where we see this. So maybe today doesn't finish as low as we are now. Maybe there's like a little bit of a long play on Bitcoin on the daily if you're somebody who has some balls, or I guess on the weekly.
Yeah, and like generally in stocks, if I try to short things on stocks, I like almost always lose money. So the fact that like my MSTR put and my Carvana put are making money is not a good sign for the markets, in my opinion. Because generally when I try to short things, I get fucking wrecked in the stock market. So if it's actually working, we're definitely seeing weakness.
And we'll keep an eye here. Bitcoin on a long is interesting to me. We'll see how that plays out today. What else do we have in the market today? U.S. job cuts. We saw they're hitting their highest level since 2003. Not ideal. I think we're going to continue to see job cuts proliferate with AI. Like I feel like we've only scratched the surface of like having a job crisis. What are your thoughts like on the job market, AI, US US like economy in general, like where we're sitting right now?
I mean, I'm not surprised that we're getting job cuts. I think people saying AI is the primary driver of the cuts. I think that's a little bit absurd. I don't think that's outside of maybe a few tech companies. I don't think that's happening in a very big way. I think that's a great excuse when you're cutting jobs, other than saying like things aren't going well, you know, or we're fucking up. But here's the thing: when you keep rates like above multi-decade highs for 3+ years, you're gonna have job weakness. That's why they bring the rates up, because they're trying to cool off the economy, right? So like there's a chart out there, right? And it's like it's basically like when AI was released and then like the job market. But like what people don't realize is like when AI was released is when they fucking took rate cuts to the moon. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it AI or is it just that if you want to start a new business, it's like we had ZERP since 2008, right? And now we're at like very high levels here. Yeah, and like so, even though they're cutting, it's still like that. So that right there, 2019 at 2.39, that was the highest in 15 years, and we're double that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And look what happened in 2019 when they went up in 2019. They had like major bank liquidity stress issues and everything. And if you see, they started cutting the rates before COVID. There was already weakness before COVID because of the rate hikes, and we're double that now. So Occam's razor, people are losing jobs because money is very expensive right now. Yeah, that's the chart right there.
Yeah, so we're showing this chart on screen for the just listening. It shows when ChatGPT was released. It shows total job openings and then the S&P 500 price. And right when the jobs were, or right when ChatGPT was released, was a local bottom for the S&P 500, which is basically running completely in parallel with job openings from 2003 to 2022. And then at that inflection point, the S&P bounced off that local bottom and skyrocketed to new highs, and jobs continued the downturn and have not bounced since.
Yeah. And also like that's job openings, right? So like job openings, even though that they're like bottom, is still at like 2018 levels. So it's like not that crazy. I think the more concerning thing is the job losses. And so you could probably paint the same chart and it would look the same. But I think the job losses are primarily because of the high interest rates. Like it's hard to get like no one's going to build a new factory and hire a bunch of new employees on an 8% loan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They did it at 4% loans because the math. You know, if you don't understand financial math, it won't make sense to you. But like that's just how it works. Now, like job weakness is 100% going to make them cut for sure. Like I'd say guaranteed December cut. But you know, the Fed is always late. So when they start cutting, it's going to take a while for jobs to come back.
Yeah, I mean, when Powell spoke at Jackson's Hole, he essentially said like they're focusing on jobs, like the job market is taking precedence. So not having inflation numbers or seeing inflation numbers kind of come in all over the place shouldn't affect the rate cut decision. Like, and I think we've talked about this before, like he really didn't say anything like too far out of the norm for what he says in those post FOMC speeches, and everyone kind of really got spooked on December. Prediction markets now have it down to 70% from a high of almost, where were we at? 90% before. So was that 22% drop?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't cut.
Yeah, I would be too. Yeah, I mean, especially like governments continue to be shut down. I feel like that's like exacerbating job losses as well, because those are jobs that are potentially going away short term.
Yeah, I'd probably take the no on the no change here just to protect myself against like the economy really going to shit and they do a 50 bips.
I wonder what that looks like versus going 25 and also 50.
It's the same because it's a neg risk market. So the R bots are, but so you can see like buy yes 2.2, buy yes 71, so it's 73.2, or buy no 74. But I'm sure there's some fractionalization there, but it should be pretty much the same.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe a flyer on 50 bips feels interesting here. A 50x on a flyer that would also send our bags. just go for the peak euphoria timeline.
That'd be fun.
That's the meme coin trader inside of me coming out. Oh man. What else do we have this week? Mega ETH released their wallet checker. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. JP Morgan saying 170K Bitcoin in the next 6 to 12 months. It's so funny, like listening to all these companies come out and just give their Bitcoin predictions. I think Kathy Wood and ARK were like, yeah, we're going to lower our $1.7 million Bitcoin prediction in 2030 from 1.7 to 1.2 million. That's a better price right now, we think, for 4 years from now. Oh man. This was a scary little bit that I saw here. Of the top 100 crypto tokens, 72 of them are now 50% or more from their prior all-time highs. Just showing like a lot of tokens that are pumped last cycle or pumped early in this cycle just are down massively, and some of these are down.
Is that Nick's Filecoin over on the left?
All the way on the left is that Filecoin? Oh man, what happened there? I want to bring up
close to 100% drawdown. That's wild.
We need to get a Filecoin, another Filecoin video. They're actually traveling right now. A good day for Filecoin, apparently.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. So this was at, where was this?
Yeah, I mean that's why it's never even gotten close to that.
Yeah.
It's never going back there.
What was it, 2024? February 24. Filecoin to $12. This was Nick's video, the one viral right around here. They said Filecoin will never go to $5. Down to 230 now. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, overall though, looking at these tokens, it's trouble. Not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, you got MicroStrategy puke down to 220. I think on the show, I said if you wanted to hedge your crypto bags, get a put on it when it was at 360. So that's like a 40% gain plus the put option premium. It's probably 34x.
How long till we can short this on Hyperliquid?
Maybe a while. Seeing
more and more of these HIP-3 markets being introduced here.
Yeah.
Without being traded yet. You know when these are going live?
I do not, man. I do not. I do know that there's like some work into getting these things live. Because if you don't have enough open interest on these, then they can get manipulated, right? Like with short squeezes and stuff like that are not correlated at all to the actual underlying asset. So I think they're going to take their time on these, and they're going to want to avoid issues. So I wouldn't be surprised if they trickle them out like one at a time, just to make sure that there's enough liquidity in each one. They'd probably, if I was to guess, they'd probably do like NVIDIA next. You know what I mean? Something that would attract a lot of open interest.
Right. Maybe gold.
It's gold.
Oh man. One more piece of news opportunity for anyone out here who's been listening. I've been talking about flying Tulip, the upcoming perp decks on Sonic, Andre Cronje's product. They released their accredited investor quiz. So a little bit of alpha here in case you want to get involved with this this raise. If you complete this quiz correctly, you will get an NFT on Sonic, free claim NFT that signifies that you have passed the accredited investor quiz, and now they declare you an accredited investor. So it's got like a number of different questions, basically revolving around how the tokenomics work for them and what the like the different mechanics are behind the flying Tulip raise. So if you've been following along, if you're interested in that opportunity, this is where you would go. You can follow them, flying Tulip _ on X. I did it this morning. It took me like 5 minutes or so. It is a timed quiz, and then I minted my NFT, so I'll have the ability to participate in this round. So we've been talking about this. Mike, you gave me the right answers. If you're in the Discord, ping me and I can answer if you're getting stuck on them. I can help out. Point to the right spot in the material for you to figure out the answers. But this is one I'll be keeping an eye on. Always good to have these opportunities open, especially in a down market when you can have exposure to things and kind of make a decision. So, getting in on these rounds earlier is always better. And with their system, it's like, as long as you're like discounting like contract risk, the way they have it set up is what you put in, you can always take out. So if you put in 5 ETH for this and you just leave your tokens locked, you can pull out 5 ETH at any point in time. So low risk and like an interesting product. So just highlighting that quiz is live, and that's going to be a precursor to putting into the raise. Wow, Zcash is continuing to go for it. We might hit $700 on the show right now.
That's wild, dude.
This is crazy. 681 now, continuing to rally up 26% on the day now.
And it's cool to see people make money. You know what I mean? Like,
I love to see it.
Yeah, I'm never gonna hate on that.
Yeah, token go up. It's funny because like people hate on people for shorting, but like are so happy when people make money longing. It just I guess more people are making money when things go up because you have spot plus perps. Whereas when you're shorting, you only have the perps people making money. But yeah, this is wild.
Yeah, I mean, generally people are always going to hate bears because retail wants to be bullish.
Did you see Google adding prediction market data from Kalshi and Polymarket?
I did. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, what's going on with this? I haven't dug in it too much. It says Google Finance, including Deep Search, are now adding prediction markets data from Kalshi and Polymarket, expanding into India as well. So it's more like an advanced like Gemini model that's going to also include prediction market data.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm sure like on the finance stuff, they'll have like the odds on like EPS beats and stuff like that. Like it.
It looks like I'm not allowed to use this yet, so I'll have to check it out, figure out how to get involved. Did you see the stream investor lost and like contagion in DeFi that happened earlier this week? I know you've been a little tied up, but did you see what happened with Stream and their?
I did. Yeah, I did. It's a bummer, but I'm also not surprised because this is not my first cycle. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the show, but I want to say like a month ago, or like people were talking about stablecoin farming, and I'm like, I first of all, I just never fucking touch stablecoin farming because it's just like what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, it's like, okay, if you want to be in cash, you can just sit in a money market fund and get your 4%, as close to risk free as you possibly can, right? Which is, if you're in cash, you're trying to de-risk. So you should probably do that, right? If you're getting 20, 30% returns on your stable coins, you have added a shit ton of risk. And I'd rather, if I want to make more, like if I want to be risk on, I'd rather just own a Bitcoin or an ETH or an altcoin, right? That can go up 20, 30%, or actually way more in a way shorter time frame. You know what I mean? So like, I've never understood stablecoin farming. It's never made sense to me. There's obviously risk, and these situations show us what the risk is that cool, you're getting 20% APR. You also can go to 0 on it. So that is your risk.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the issue here is people are saying that money markets allow hard-coded stablecoin oracles. So essentially what they're saying is this stablecoin is always worth $1 on our platform in terms of its value towards liquidations or towards your portfolio. When in reality, if you have a DPEG, it really isn't worth that. So when you have these hard-coded oracles, it can lead to buildup of bad debt in the system, and then can spiral to cause an even bigger issue, which is kind of what we saw with Stream. They lost $90 million or $60 million and started pulling liquidity on their stablecoin pairs, and that ballooned to 300 to 500 million in liabilities because of.
There's your 20% APR right there.
Yeah,
that's how you're getting it, is because it's money being leveraged. I mean, here's the thing: the whole stablecoin peg don't peg. It's not like a one answer is super clear, right? If you peg coins 1-to-1 and a protocol blows up, you have contagion risk, right? If you don't peg them 1-to-1, you have all sorts of other issues, like people can attack a peg, right? And so like a thing could be operating completely fine, and then all these people stablecoin looping get liquidated because one of their underlying assets gets depegged temporarily to 80 cents, right? So like that's what that's what would happen last cycle, right? When you're stablecoin looping, like someone would attack a peg on something, it would flash crash, and a bunch of people get liquidated. So they're like, okay, let's fix that issue, hard code them 1-to-1, which solves that issue, but then creates this issue, right? So it's like a complicated thing. It's not like super clear. Once again, at the end of the day, for me, it's just like, dude, it makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense to me. It's like, if you want to be low risk in cash, get your 4% from a money market fund. If you want to have a risk, right? Like if you want to make 20% a year, just put all your money in the fucking S&P, you know, or NASDAQ. You're going to get on average close to that amount of return, and you'll never get zeroed out. You never hear like, oh shit, NASDAQ depegged and everybody got liquidated. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just really don't understand the use case for like, man, I'm getting 20% APR in my stable coins, but there's a risk that my entire net worth goes to 0. It's like, be in fucking cash, get your 4% to barely beat inflation, or long shit, like take risk the normal way. So I feel really bad for everybody that got fucking wrecked by this, but also it's just something that I would never find myself in terms of the situation.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff was dumb. Why is a stablecoin being pegged to a fucking vault that's like lending people money to do whatever the fuck with this? You know what this reminds me? 3 Arrows Capital. That's exactly what was happening. Is people like 3 Arrows Capital would go to a project or a team that just raised money or just did a big NFT sale or whatever, right? And they'd be like, cool, you have $5 million sitting there, and your operating costs, your burn rate's $1 million a year. Give us your $4 million, right? And we're going to safely generate you a 20% return on it, right? It was the same exact fucking thing. So all these people gave 3AC their treasuries, then they did all sorts of strategies with it.
Bought Ringer. Like, what happened?
And then the whole fucking thing blew up. So we had that last cycle, and we had Luna last cycle. So I just don't understand how, you know, time's a flat circle. It's 2025, and what do you have? You have 3AC structures blowing up, and you have stable coins at 20% APYs blowing up. So it's the same fucking thing.
Find different, more complicated, quote unquote, safe ways to do it, essentially.
Yeah, and the troubling sign is you do not see these things really blow up during a bull market. They always blow up during the bear market. You know what I mean? Right? Because that's when the money crunch happens. And that's when the pipers got to get paid.
Yeah. And you did talk about the stablecoin depeg one way versus the other. Athena depegging on Binance was a lot of the issue with the 10-10 crash. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So we're seeing all the same fucking shit play out again. You know what I mean? Stablecoin depegging, liquidating people.
Yeah, on the 1 minute USDE depegged below 70 cents, caused cascading liquidations and ran right back up. So that's your depeg attack when you're saying, okay, well, if you're not pegging 1-to-1. But I think there should be like requirements that stablecoins have to meet, where like they have certain allocations of capital, like proof of reserves, etc., to like maintain that 1-to-1 peg. Like there should be kind of a system of both you use.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I just don't really know why like we need 30 fucking stable coins. Just like pair everything with USDC and USDT. Certainly us diversifying away from it isn't helping anything because it's all the other ones fucking depegging. You know what I mean? So if you want to say like, oh, well, there's a risk if we all rely on USDC and USDT, and it's like, okay, well, there's obviously risk on the other side as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is why like I'm not a low risk person, but I think I take high risk smartly, right? Meaning like when I'm taking high risk plays, like I'm buying things from spot. I'm buying $5,000 of something. And if the coin literally fucking scams, my max loss is 5K, right? Or it does a 3X and I make 15K. That's the kind of high risk games I like to play. And when I'm not trying to be high risk, I'm not trying to do these fucking trickery games where it's like, oh, cool. Like a 4% APR isn't enough for me. I need a 12. You know, it's like, how long do you plan on staying in a asset that is getting devalued every single day by the US government? Like, how long are you really planning to sit on that thing? You know, I don't even stake, dude. I know people, that's going to sound crazy to people. I don't even stake my ETH. I don't even stake my Solana, and I lose money because of that. But like, I know where I like to take risk, and that's like on alt plays, short-term swings. That's my high risk shit. And I don't need high low risk.
Yeah, right. Just getting a little bit, like you still have the rest of yours getting like a little bit of capital, and it's also like basically just competing with inflation at that point anyway.
Exactly. You have $100,000, you put it, it's like, oh, 12%, cool. I'm getting 12 grand instead of 4. So over the course of an entire year, we're talking 8 grand. Like you can't even feed a family at 3 on that. You know, it's not moving the deal. Zcash prediction less over 1,000.
I can get over 1,000.
Yeah, I think it definitely could. I'll tell you what, at a certain point in time, it ain't today, probably ain't going to be tomorrow, but at a certain point in time, I will look for a MACD curl on this.
Let's take a look at I want to look at the MACD on Zcash.
It's just up. There's no
down.
Yeah. I mean, like you can see like previous MACD crosses, like when it ran to, this is on the hourly. Like when it did that first run up to 293, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you start to get a curl and it goes down to 188.
Yeah, this is the red MACD you're talking about while the asset's still going up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. But like if you see, like you see very quickly that it's like it's not a clean red cross, right? Like you got 2 dark reds, and then you get a light red. Like as soon as you got the light red, you're like, the short on this is not great. That's why, like, ideally, I like to put in my longs or shorts like when you just get the color change, right? So on October 11th, you had the dark green. When you went to the light green, that's a decent short opportunity. But you can see plenty of times on this chart where over the past couple of days that wouldn't work out either.
Yeah, exactly. 3 days ago with that play.
Like you on MACDs, you ideally want to see like just a very clean, like circular looking thing, and then have it come back. So like we don't even have that on this one. You're not getting like the clean. So MACD is once again like
still like do something like up. You know, like you could still be like in the upwards
forever
before going down. That was like the worst drawing I've ever seen.
I mean, how high is this thing above the top Bollinger Band though? It's top Bollinger Band is 592. It's like 15% above
It's
that.
gonna hit 700 here, like as we're talking. Literally 700. I was like half joking when I said it's gonna hit 700 earlier, but it's absolutely going for it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would definitely want to be. I mean, that's the chart right there, dude.
Yep, weekly MACD just straight up.
Straight up. I mean,
Straight.
that's great. And yeah, so like when you see the daily doing weird stuff like that, like if you were going to try to short this, I would probably wait to get a light green on the weekly. You'll miss some of the top, but it will probably be a safer play. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like last run on Zcash from 60 to 30.
Yeah.
You could have gotten in after you closed a light green weekly candle.
Yeah.
It's wild to see how much this run has dwarfed everything previously.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd.
Yes, right now I just think like there's a small percentage of people out there that are very good like chop traders, swing traders, right? Most of people aren't. So like as tempting as it's going to be, like in these kind of environments where you really lose money is when you're chasing longs and you're chasing shorts. Like you're chasing moves, right? And what you'll end up finding yourself is you're going to top tick a lot of shit, and then you're going to tilt yourself, right? Because then you're losing money, and it's not good for your mental health. So once again, as boring as it is right now, I'd rather just sit. I'd rather just sit and wait for some clarity on directions that we're going. If we get really bad pukes to the lows, I'm going to want to long some of those for swing trades. If we get a lot of wicks back up, I'm going to like to long those. But we're seeing crypto weakness. We're seeing stock weakness as well. I also think some people are potentially like misinterpreting like certain macro events. Like a lot of people are like, oh, the Supreme Court is looking at Trump's tariffs, and they may say they were illegal, and then they may make them pay back money, all the money, all the tariffs. Some people think that's bullish, right? Most people think that's bullish. I actually think that could be bearish. Like markets don't like uncertainty, right? So markets absorb the uncertainty of the tariffs in March and April, right? And then it became the new normal. And then we went up, right? All of that getting unwinded, I don't think that's net bullish. Because think about like companies and everybody has been adjusting to that being the new norm. And then you're going to pull the carpet out underneath them, right? That creates uncertainty. So I don't think that is necessarily a bullish thing. Supreme Court comes out and says tariffs are gone. People are like, oh, we're going to God candle up. I'm not sure that's it. I'm not going to say that it's 100% not going to happen, but I think those
like
kind of things.
Long the news and then short like half a day later.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I across the board,
gaps. Really, really weird couple weeks in the stock market.
100%.
All these daily gaps, like up and down.
Yeah. And I mean, if like you're in a 401k, you don't give a fuck. Like you're DCAing in every 2 weeks, So like my 401k, I don't care about price action on this stuff. I'm happy to keep buying, but like in my cash bags, I do care about these moves. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of like
horizontal gaps that need on the daily that haven't filled yet on the S&P.
Yes.
Like even as low as 5,300.
Yeah. And then companies would be so happy because they already raised their prices and now they'll get all the money back. That's not how that would work.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Choppy times, volatile times. Like this feels like there's more panic and uncertainty in the market over the last 1 month than there was like throughout the bear market, if that makes sense. Like I feel like there's a lot of nerves right now on like where we're going and like people getting very like skittish that like, hey, this is market top. I didn't make it this cycle. I was supposed to be ready and prepared for this. Like what happened? So
but like you're not alone in crypto if you feel that way. Like that's in stocks as well. most stocks have not done great. It's like very concentrated AI plays. So there's plenty of stock investors, smart, dumb, whatever, that feel the exact same way on the stock side, right? Their portfolio is maybe up 5 or 10% this year, and they know a guy that max long to AI ends up 500%. You know what I mean? So the same things that some people are feeling about not making it this cycle in crypto, you can feel the exact same thing in the stock market as well. If anything, that's kind of like an interesting trade for me. I don't know how to play it. Once again, I'm not great at stocks, but you have a lot of stocks that are really suppressed, right? And the only reason why the S&P is up is that 730. Did that go all the way up to 775?
Yeah.
So this is short squeezes right here. This is not spot buying. I can almost guarantee it. This is people trying to short, and they're just adding fuel to the fire on this thing. That's the only way you get candles like that. There's not enough money out there after everyone got fucking liquidated on 10-10 for this to be spot buying moves. This is people trying to top pick a short, and they're getting blown out over and over, which I find kind of funny. That's funny to me. I don't know. That's fucked up, but
That's wild. Like, this is a wild morning, wild chart. Yeah, since we gotten on air, we went from 6:30 to 7:30. I honestly, if you told me we were at 6:30 for
I mean, look at that chart. Yeah, just keep enhance. Like that.
Really?
That is one of the most sexiest charts in the fucking world. Like there is no better feeling if you own an asset and it makes that chart, dude. That is euphoria. Now that's scary at the end once it starts going that vertical, right? You start to get a little bit nervous, but I mean that's sick, dude. Yeah, dude, I would be up 110 grand if I held the whole bag, which I never would have fucking done. If I didn't sell it at 120, I would have sold it at 180, 240, 280, 380. You know what I mean?
400 for sure.
Yeah, but it does make me think also, because here's the thing. You have to give a lot of credit to Zcash holders here. You have to, because they held this thing through a shitty ass fucking market. You know what I mean? If you're holding this thing as like Bitcoin, ETH, everything else is absolutely vomiting, and you're holding it through like Zcash pulling back a little bit during those scenarios, you deserve every single penny you have to your name right now from this trade. You really do. That's not an easy hold. If you were holding this while everything else was going parabolic, I wouldn't be patting you on the back so much right now. But like people that held this through all of that FUD, not on Zcash, just overall market FUD is a chat, and you deserve every dollar you got.
You went through October 10th completely through this wick down to 126.
Like I would have sold October 10th, 100%. Dude, if you know what I mean.
Like Zcash, what is this junk? It's going to zero.
Yeah,
yeah. Like let's look at the like the market, like what you had to do on October 10th if you're logged in and plugged in here.
Like look at some of the pukes on these things. Like
here's your October 10th.
Yeah.
And this one actually recovered within an hour though, which was interesting.
Yeah. But then like even if you go to the right, like there's some nasty pullbacks on this thing. To the right, yeah. Like yeah, like some of those back there, right? Right there. You know what I mean?
470 to 380.
Yeah.
360 to 300.
Yeah. Like you had to stomach a lot of pullbacks. So yeah, you deserve every single dollar that you made off of this thing. But I would say the verticality of that chart, your time is coming. We don't know when, but the fun with Zcash is gonna come to an end. If you're up 12x, you may be up more, but you also could find yourself laying on the floor because it's moving up so damn high. It looks like it wants to break through the sky, but we all know how this story ends. One day you're gonna wish you sold that damn thing.
And that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for listening. It's been a wonderful Friday here, having kicked back in the house. We do this podcast Friday, 9 a.m.
Yo, shout out to the fucking market maker behind Cerebro, dude. You're fucking good at what you do, dude. Go fuck yourself, but you're fucking good. Game recognized game, dude.
Shout out to the market maker. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple. You can watch us live on YouTube or watch us live on Zora now. We're streaming live on Zora. Thank you all again for listening.